What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Ahsoka series, but before we do get into all of that, remember, hit the subscribe, like, and notification bell so you're always in the know on everything Star Wars. Don't forget, I have a membership program that I just did an update to, so make sure to join one of them, as the tiers are simply amazing and I've updated them, so definitely go check them out so you get behind the scene footage and go live with me on my daily content. Go check out the merch store, as I do have Eternal Sith merch that you definitely want to go check out. And as always, once you're done watching this video, go check out my last one. Give it a thumbs up as you watch. Let's start the show.
Well, welcome to the show with the Eternal Sith. Every bit's a banger, best believe he don't miss. Do me a favor, drop a sub and keep tuning in. If you like what you see, go and share with your friends.
Well, guys, the Ahsoka series, it came and it did not disappoint, I have to say. I'll give my final rating at the end of this episode on the Eternal Sith Network, but wow, what a episode that we got. Well, not just one, but two episodes that we got. And I'm going to tell you guys what I noticed. I want to give a full breakdown. I want to give, the Easter eggs. I want to talk about everything that I noticed, that I enjoyed, that really hit the note for me. And one of the things was that we got to see Ahsoka, and just overall, we got to see Lothal in live action. How awesome is that? As we've never seen it in live action, obviously, anytime before this. We've only seen it in Star Wars Rebels. And the fact that we finally got it was amazing, as we got to see recreated scenes and familiar locations on Lothal with the agricultural world that lays at the heart of Star Wars Rebels, and the shots deliberately pay homage to the classic scenes from the animated TV show. But it's important to note that they aren't straight up live action recreations. Lothal has prospered since the Empire's fall, and everything is newer, fresher, well looked after, and again, it just looks amazing. And you could really see the transition from when the Empire really was taken over and it was dark, it was gloomy, and now it just looks alive. And the fact that they brought back characters, from Rebels was also, amazing to see, and see the interactions with Rosario Dawson's, Ahsoka joining with Mary Elizabeth Winstead's Harrison Dula, Sabine Wren, Amon Esfandi's Ezra Bridger that we got to see in the hologram in that one shot, of course. And again, the one that was missing was, of course, Zeb, but who knows, we'll probably see him in a later episode. And the return of Governor Asti and Senator Jai Kell, which was so cool, and that was such a funny scene. I thought it was really cool when they were looking for Sabine to inaugurate her, and she, of course, was gone, as we saw her on the speeder, which was another great moment. I thought it was cool to see Sabine really mirroring Ezra, I have to say. She really mirrors Ezra, and I'll do a deeper video on, my similarities with her and Ezra at a later time. Then we got to see Baylan and Shin, who are gonna be a problem in the series, I will say that. And you really see as the episode was called Master and Apprentice, by the way, that really took me by storm, because you really got to see the progression of these two characters, and you got to see the apprentice, which was of Shin, going up against Sabine, and they really modeled what two apprentices look like, especially Sabine, I have to say, but you really see and feel that vibe, and it really gives you Ahsoka and Anakin Padawans when, again, Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan and he was the master. You really see that, and like I said, this really reminds me of Kanan and Ezra, and like I said, I'm gonna do another video of that at a later time. But it was cool to see those characters. I really like their lightsabers, and even seeing Huang kind of doing the whole thing where, in order to figure out who they were, I thought was really cool. He dove deep into it and, did some research, and ended up being that Baylan's lightsaber came up as he was a part of the Order and left right before the Clone Wars ended. But Shin is a character that is an unknown, and I can't wait to learn more about her character as the series progresses. Now, the one that I really had a deep know of, that I knew this was solidified, which we already knew, but they dove into it, was the Night Sister of Dathomir, and that was of Morgan Elsbeth, as we got to see her also use her magic. But it was the fact that she made, again, her debut back in season 2, episode 5 of The Mandalorian, as she clashed with Ahsoka. But you really have an understanding now why she put up a fight, because the fact that she was a Night Sister and again was a witch, or is a witch, who wields the dark side magic, and the fact that she even mentioned the Clone Wars. I'm hoping that maybe we get some sort of a flashback with her too when she talks about, how her sisters were massacred, and we get to see maybe General Grievous in that whole scene from the Clone Wars. So that's something that I would love to see at some point. But again, maybe we won't, because again, Marin 2 from Jedi Survivor or Fallen Order was also an Order 66 survivor, but again, they didn't show a flashback for that. Most probably they'll leave it as is, which is fine for me. And the other one was actually when we got to see in the beginning also too with Ahsoka. It actually ends up being that is a Night Sister temple, which a lot of people didn't know that. And that was one of the things that caught my attention, because I thought it was really cool, because they also kind of had it where it was reminiscent of Jedi Fallen Order's the Zepho. If you look around, it very much had that kind of like ancient scene temple that we got to see in the Fallen Order games. So it definitely mirrored that. Also too, the 3 statues in honoring we get to see of the gods of Mortis. The temple is dominated by 3 damaged statues, which later proved to be the key of Sabine's unlocking the map that Ahsoka retrieves, and these likely represent the 3 Mortis gods, mysterious entities tied to the origin of the Force itself. And Anakin Skywalker encountered those gods of Mortis in Star Wars' The Clone Wars, and in Legends they had a history with the Night Sisters. So definitely big ties when giving, or at least showing that in the Ahsoka series. Now also we got to see Marek, yes, the Inquisitor debut, as there's still a lot of question about his character. They didn't really touch on it, but he definitely looks cool and a force to be reckoned with. And it looks like that he's rolling with Baylan and Shin. It doesn't look like that he is Morgan Elsbeth's Inquisitor or mercenary. It ends up being, or it looks like that he has a deeper connection potentially to Baylan and Shin, and that's something that we will definitely talk about here on the channel a little bit more at a later time. Now, one of the things I thought was really cool too as well was seeing Shin's probe droid, and it positions her as a Darth Maul figure, and it literally, I don't know if you guys thought the same thing too, it reminded me of Darth Maul from The Phantom Menace. It really gave that same kind of like mirror with that. So I thought that was really cool. And seeing Ahsoka in episode 2 heading to Han Solo's home world of Corellia, again, another homage, another, page in the chapter where they're showing and bringing back planets and home worlds of these characters that I think is really cool. And at some point, I'm hoping we see some Han Solo, because he is a big character in this storyline of Heir to the Empire that is coming up with the Mandalorian movie that's set to happen in 2025 or 26 or 27, whenever it's going to happen. So I'm hoping that. But the final one was the Ahsoka series, setting up the return for Grand Admiral Thrawn, as we saw it at the end with Morgan Elsbeth getting ready to go rescue Thrawn, as we know there is a big threat coming up in the galaxy, and that's something that they are prepared, as there's going to be an all-out war, and we've talked about it here, potentially the Yuzang Vong, or the Grisk now as they call them. So there's a lot at stake here, but overall a great 2 episodes, as we talked about it here. We'll give you guys a little bit of a breakdown and my own little things that I noticed that stood out to me. But I want to know your guys' thoughts and theories on the first 2 episodes of the Ahsoka series. Did you enjoy it? What were your favorite key moments in the series? And what shined for you the most? And what's something that you're looking forward to for the rest of the Ahsoka series overall? Light it up in the comment section down below. For more Star Wars content, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell so you're always in the know as I have more content out tomorrow. Don't forget, I have a membership program. Definitely you want to join. There's 3 tiers. I just updated them, and I will be going live behind the scenes. So make sure to join the membership program so you could check on the community post for members only, the live stream link for that. And I will be talking about everything Star Wars and more in-depth details. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget, the Eternal Sith, then, now, forever. Later, guys.